We come on the air here with this program after Jimmy Kimmel has taped his show, which is taped before it's shown on ABC. We are sometimes able to get that video to you before Jimmy Kimmel's show goes out with it, and the Jimmy Kimmel show has provided some video tonight. So this is now round 3. This is Jimmy Kimmel tonight. This is what he is going to say on his show tonight.
For a pre-existing condition. So the president got involved last night via Twitter, of course. He wrote, "I would not sign Graham Cassidy if it did not include coverage of pre-existing conditions. It does. A great bill, repeal and replace." Which those are the key words, repeal and replace. Because for Donald Trump, this isn't about the Graham Cassidy bill. It's about getting rid of Obamacare, which he hates primarily because Obama's name is on it. He likes to have his name on things, buildings, you name it. And at this point, he would sign anything if it meant getting rid of Obamacare. He'd sign copies of the Koran at the Barnes & Noble in Fallujah if it meant he could get rid of Obamacare. And then after I accused Bill Cassidy of not telling me.
Joy, this is an extraordinary thing to watch, I think. But Jimmy Kimmel's never going to leave the joke out of a line. But this is a TV drama we're watching. This is Jimmy Kimmel taking a stand, using a show that doesn't do that kind of thing, using his unique voice and his son's story, and he is not giving up in this struggle against the president and Republican senators.
No, this is the classic example of a man who is using his platform truly for good. You know, Jimmy Kimmel can just do comedy. He has the absolute right to just entertain, but he's refusing to stop engaging. And the reason that this has got to bug Donald Trump, as you know, there's nothing Donald Trump craves more than the adulation and love of media and celebrities, especially celebrities. So it coming from somebody famous has got to really bother Donald Trump a lot. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Kimmel understands more about the Graham Cassidy bill than Cassidy. Cassidy has not been able to explain why his bill, he claims it protects pre-existing conditions. It doesn't. Jimmy Kimmel's actually right on the policy, too.
And Josh, in Jimmy Kimmel's corner of show business, which is a pretty big corner of show business, it's always been well understood that there's a danger in this kind of position that he's taken, because Jimmy Kimmel has plenty of Trump voters who think he's great, who think he's funny, who've been watching him for years and years and years. And Jimmy Kimmel knows, and his network knows, that he risks those viewers in taking this stand. But he's going to do it, and we're now into day 3 of something the likes of which we've never seen in that kind of show.
Yeah, Lawrence, there's no doubt that Jimmy Kimmel is risking alienating part of his audience. And certainly when you're talking about the late-night comedy shows, it's a pretty cutthroat business. And you know that there is a margin there that he is risking. But to his credit, he's speaking with a lot of authenticity here, because he's not weighing any sort of political calculation. He's not weighing what this may do for the future of his career. He's not weighing what this is going to do for his numbers in the Nielsen overnights. What he's doing is speaking from the heart, and that's what makes it so compelling. He's a pretty talented communicator. The other thing that's interesting about him, Lawrence, is I've had a chance to meet Jimmy a couple of times when I was working with President Obama. Behind the scenes, he's actually a pretty soft-spoken guy. He's not one of these sort of larger-than-life personas when he's off camera. So, and I think we're seeing some of that personality really shine through in a way that, look, I think has captured America's attention right now in a way that is pretty dangerous for a political party that has bet their entire identity on passing this legislation that just about everybody seems to oppose. And Jimmy Kimmel, somebody with a large platform, seems to be leading the resistance here.
And we have just harvested another piece of what Jimmy Kimmel is going to be saying tonight as he continues this debate.
His supporters say, well, he's a doctor and you're not. What do you know? Well, to them, I say all of these very reputable organizations, American Diabetes Association, American Medical Association, American Cancer Society, American Heart Association, the list goes on and on. All of these groups populated by doctors say this health care bill is bad. They're against it. We haven't seen this many people come forward to speak out against a bill since Cosby, okay? They claim, as the president did, it protects people with pre-existing conditions. but it doesn't guarantee them protection. All you need to know is this. This is how the vice president himself dodged that question this morning on Fox and Friends.
You have folks like Jimmy Kimmel, they're worried about the pre-existing condition thing, because this will be up to the governors to decide how the money's dispersed, who gets coverage. Every state will determine what's best for their folks. But with that, can you guarantee that these governors will make sure pre-existing conditions are covered?
Thomas Jefferson said, government that governs least governs best. I mean, the question that people ought to ask is, who do you think will be more responsive to the health care needs in your community? Your governor in your state legislature, or a congressman and a president in a far-off nation's capital?
Is neither an option? Because I would pick that. I'm pretty sure, by the way, I think he just told us we can't trust the president. Their argument is that...
And, Gene, the way Jimmy Kimmel's handling this is he is giving Republicans a voice within his own monologue. He's not running away from what they're saying. He is taking what they're saying and presenting it to his audience.
He is, and he's an interesting figure. In the late night universe, right, Stephen Colbert has had a kind of never Trump line, and he's been very tough on the Russia allegations, and has really delved into that. Took a trip to Russia, actually, to sort of make fun of that whole thing in a semi-serious way. But this is such a personal issue for so many Americans, and it's focused on this one issue, not on, I don't like Donald Trump, I don't like the Republicans. It's just, this is a bad health care bill for these reasons. And so I think in that sense, it's more effective and potentially it's changing the debate. I mean, we've been spending the last 20 minutes talking about Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, we are 3 days into a TV drama conducted by a TV comedian, and we've never been here before. Josh Earnest and Gene Robinson, thank you both for joining us for the beginning of the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.